Hey y'all, this is Jimmy Goodwin with TWFG Insurance in LaGrange, Georgia. And I wanted to put together a presentation and I'm going to entitle this 5 Things Your Current Insurance Agent Hasn't Told You About Your Current Home Insurance Policy. And you'll see why. And you'll see why a lot of them don't tell you. Now it's important to remember that your insurance policy is a contract between you and your insurance company. But in this contract, the insurance company makes all the rules, and guess what? You're responsible for knowing those rules, not your insurance agent, not anybody else. You have to know the rules of that policy, and I would say that 95% of all people don't read their policies. Now, really, it's not that bad. The insurance company does their very best when you write a policy to make sure that they're insuring it for full replacement costs. The problem comes in is a lot of times agents will try to write that policy for market value or some value under that, because to them the sale comes first and the truth comes last. And it's important to remember that the market value of your house is not the same as the replacement cost. Many times I have people who say, well, I'm buying the house for $200,000, and I'll go in and I'll do a replacement cost estimator, and it'll come up to $270. And they're like, no, I'm not going to insure it for $270. It's not worth $270. Yeah, but the replacement cost, the cost to rebuild that one house, is going to cost $270. And if they don't have it insured for $270 and their house burns down, guess what? They're not going to pay the cost to rebuild it. They're only going to pay you the actual cash value, and you're going to be underwater. You're going to be out of luck. The second thing that your insurance agent hasn't told you is that if your TV is stolen, your insurance company, they won't buy you a new one. Now, what that means is that, essentially, is what I mean by that is that if your television or anything else is stolen, burned in a fire, sucked up in a tornado, done whatever, the insurance company, what they're going to do is they're going to give you the actual cash value for that TV or whatever is missing or stolen or damaged. They're going to give you the actual cash value for it, and then you have to go out there and you have to buy a new one with the money they're giving you, and you have to add some of your money to it. Buy that, send them the receipt, and then they'll send you the difference, right? So if it's a complete loss, if your house is burned completely down, what you're going to do is you're going to send them a list of things lost. They're going to figure out what the actual cash value is. They're going to send you a check, and you're going to have to go out, buy the most important things first, the clothes, things like that. Buy the most important things first, and then send them the receipt. They're going to send you the difference of what the actual cash value was and what the replacement cost was, or what you paid for it. And then you got to go out, take the money they sent you, go out, buy a little more, and you keep doing that until you replaced everything. It even says here in the contract, remember, it's a contract, we will pay no more than the actual cash value of the damage until actual repair or replacement is complete. Once actual repair or replacement is complete, we will settle the loss as noted in 2A and B above. And essentially what that says is that replacement cost. Now, number 3, the third thing that your insurance company hasn't told you, the insurance agent hasn't told you about your insurance policy, is that your insurance company will not pay for your gun collection. Now, that's going to hurt a lot of people. They're going to have a lot of people scared. Now, but it will pay for it. I should have said this. It will pay for it as long as that gun collection isn't worth more than $2,500. And that includes your ammo and everything else. And if you have more than $2,500 in guns, ammo, and you don't schedule them or get a separate policy, and they're stolen, burned up, sucked up in a tornado, whatever, you're out of luck. You're only going to get $2,500. See right here? They only pay $2,500 for loss by theft of firearms and related equipment. The fourth thing that your insurance agent hasn't told you about your policy is that $10,000 ring that you bought for your wife or for yourself or whatever, if it's stolen, it's not covered. That is, if it's worth more than $1,500. If it's more than $1,500, you have to schedule it, or you have to separately insure it. Remember, let's go back to the contract. It says that they'll cover $1,500 for loss by theft of jewelry, watches, furs, pieces, precious and semi-precious stones. So if you've got jewelry or pieces of jewelry, more than one piece of jewelry, if they're stolen and it's worth more than $1,500 and you don't have them insured correctly, you're just out of luck. Number 5, and I put this here, and it's the last one, but I put this here because there's a lot of people who are engaged in businesses on the side, and this is just one part of your policy that excludes something to do with the business. So the 5th thing that your insurance agent hasn't told you about your insurance policy is that if you store your lawn care business tools such as lawnmower, weed eater, blower, those things in your shed, and your shed is damaged, your insurance company, they will not pay to repair your shed. Not just against fire, which you might think it would be. They're not going to pay for it if it's damaged by hail, by wind, vandalism, or whatever. They're not going to pay for it because the thing, let's go to the contract. It says we do not cover other structures used to store business property. However, we do cover a structure that contains business property solely owned by an insured or a tenant of the dwelling, provided that the business property does not include gaseous or liquid fuel other than that stored in the fuel tank of a vehicle or a watercraft, right? So if you have a part-time business and it's a part-time lawn care business, you have gas in your lawnmower and your shed is damaged by storm, fire, whatever, your insurance company is not going to pay to repair or replace your shed. I know. Again, that sucks. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know, though, right? Now, I've said a lot of things, right? I've said a lot of things, and this wasn't, there's no test on this. You're not going to have to know all these things. But what my point is this right here is that your insurance policy is a contract, and it doesn't cover a lot of things that you might think it would cover. That goes for your auto policy, your homeowner's policy, a business policy, or whatever. You need a professional insurance agent who is going to tell you what's covered and what's not covered, right? And if your insurance agent hasn't told you that, give me a call. Let me look at your policy. You can call me at 706-416-4160. Shoot me an email at jgoodwin@twfg.com. I want to help. I think that informed policyholders are good policyholders and make good friends. And if you're my customer, when you have a loss, I'm going to make sure you know what's covered and what not's covered so we can be friends after that claim is settled. Thank you and have a good day.